Good morning, everybody. So, today is day 4 of week 6. Today, we're going to be finishing up. Today's the last day of our TEAC that we've been working on this whole week, 7.12a. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Up to now, y'all are doing fantastic. So, I'm super proud of y'all. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, the first one, we're going to be solving is number 4. It says the box plots below show the number of community service hours by each student in Miss Alonso's and Mr. Lee's homeroom classes. Which statement is not supported by the information in the box plots above? So just like we talked about yesterday, my technique is I usually read the answer choices so I know what I'm about to talk about. So I know what I need to figure out. So the first one says the box plot for Miss Alonso's student has a center of 7 hours, and the box plot for Lee's has a center of 6. So I'm going to need to find something called the median. So somewhere in here I need to know the median. The box plot for Miss Alonso's students has a larger interquartile range. So IQR. So from here I could already tell that I'm going to have to do the 5-number summary. 5-number summary, right? So I'm going to have to know my minimum, my maximum, my median, my Q1, and my Q3. The next one says the whisker and box plot for Miss Alonso's students are more varied in length than the whiskers on the box plot for Mr. Lee's. That's range. So varied means that there's numbers in between, so range. And Jay says at least one student in Miss Alonso's class did 10 hours of community service. So this one's going to be maximum, right? So maximum will tell me what's the most hours that they did, and specifically for Miss Alonso's class. So the first thing, of course, key points. We know the minimum to quartile 1, have all this, right? For this one, I would recommend just going straight into it. That way we can know the values of each one. So going straight into it means just writing down straight the minimum, straight the maximum, straight the median, and so on and so forth. So remember, this is our generalized box and whisker plot. So this tells us all the information we need. So if we notice, Miss Alonso, this is her information. Her minimum is at 0. Her quartile 1 is at 4. Her median is at 7. Q3 is at 8. And her maximum is at 9. I went ahead and calculated the range and the IQR as well. So the range is just my maximum, which is 9, minus the minimum, which is 0. So it just gives me a range of 9. The IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So that's 8 minus 4. So it's going to give me an IQR of 4. Okay. I did the same thing for Mr. Lee. So for Mr. Lee, once again, minimum 1. Q1 is at 5. Median is at 6. Q3 is at 8. And of course, our maximum is at 10. I calculated the range. So the range is going to be the 10 minus the 1, which gives me a 9. And my IQR is going to be my Q3 minus Q1. So I took 8 minus 5, which gave me 3. Now I can go through each one. So the first one says the box plot for Miss Alonso's students has a center of 7. So we go to median for Alonso's, and yes, it is 7. The box plot for Mr. Lee's student has a center of 6. Yes, it is 6. So we're good. But it says which statement is not supported. Not supported. So I want a false. The first one is true. So it can't be F. That one's true. I want a false answer. Next one says that the box plot for Miss Alonso's students has a larger IQR than for Mr. Lee. So Miss Alonso has an IQR of 4. He has 3. That's true. So that can't be my answer because I need a false one. Next one says the whiskers on the box plot for Miss Alonso are more varied in length. So Miss Alonso's range is larger than Mr. Lee's. So his range is 9, hers is 9. That is not true. They're the same. So because they're the same, that might be my answer. Let's go to J. It says at least one student in Miss Alonso's class did 10 hours of community service. So go to Miss Alonso. Her maximum for Miss Alonso is 9. So at least one student in Miss Alonso's did 10 hours of community service. That is not true as well, because 9. Hold on. So that is not true as well. So we have to choose between these two. The bottom one is the more untrue statement. And the reason is that the whisker plot for Miss Alonso's students are more varied. Yeah, no, they were both 9. Right? Oh yeah. More varied. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know about that one. Alright. So we'll go to the next one. The other way you can understand letter H, is the fact that I'm looking at the spacing, right? I'm looking at the spacing, and Miss Alonso's is true because if you look at the whiskers, which are the outside, the minimum to Q1 and the Q3 to the maximum, they are more varied. See how one's smaller on one side and larger for Miss Alonso, and for Mr. Lee they're a little bit less different. So that's actually true. I would actually say that one's true. H is true. Hence the reason it's not that one. Just a little clarification for H. Okay, moving on. So number 5 says that the dot plots below show the number of hours students in 2 homerooms spent on homework each week. So which statement is supported by the information? So the first one is talking about a spread, range. The second one is talking about a center, median. C is talking about a spread. Once again, we're talking about range. And the last one is talking about half of the students. So that is IQR, interquartile range, right? So we're going to have to form the whole thing using this one, okay? So, of course, first step, put all my numbers in ascending order. This is going to have to give me the 5-number summary. So I put them all in order. Boom. All right, now that I put them in order, I'm going to need to find my median, right? So I'm going to find my median, my minimum, and my maximum. I do that by crossing out on both sides. So notice that the medians for both are the exact same. 2 numbers, so that means that my median for A is 3, my median for B is 4, and of course my maximum is the smallest value, and the maximum is the largest value, and the minimum is the smallest value. Okay. Next step is, of course, now I gotta put the parentheses around them. I personally changed the colors. We already talked about this. So because I changed the colors, I did so. Boom, like that. So half my data is blue, half my data is red. And now I have to find Q1 and Q3. Because I didn't use, in A, because I didn't use the 3 in A, those two are separated into the left and right. Okay, so I'm going to use those values for A, and in B, the 4s were not the median, so I didn't use them. I had to get an average of them. So I'm going to use those, half go to the left, half go to the right. And I'm going to use those to find my median, which is going to be my Q1, and my other median on the right side of the data, which is my Q3. So here we go, same thing, same situation. Median is 2. Do the same thing to the other side, and I'm going to get a median between 4 and 5, which is 4.5. Okay, do the same thing to the next set of data, go to a median. And we're going to notice that my median is going to be 3 because it's the same value. And then do the same to the next side. And I get a median between 5 and 5, which is 5. Okay, so you put in all of your information for number 6. So here we go. We have a minimum of 1, Q1 of 2, a median of 3, Q3 of 4.5, and a maximum of 6, so on and so forth. There you go. So here's all of our data. Now we go through each one. So the first one talks about range, right? So range says that A has a larger range than B. They both are 5. So that's not true. Wrong answer. Okay, we're going to skip to C. It says homeroom A has more students spread in 2, 3, and 4 hours on homework that spend more time on that homework than B had students on 4, 5, and 6. So 2, 3, and 4 had, for A, how many people were in 2, 3, and 4? So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 students. Right? So 13. And then for B, 4, 5, and 6 had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Both of them are 13. Both have the same. Okay? So both have 13. Nothing different. Next one says that homeroom A had more than half of their students spending 4 or more hours on homework, and homeroom B had more than 2/3 of their students spending 4 or more hours. So the first one, more than half spending 4 or more. So we go to the data, and we notice that how many of them spent 4 or more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 20. 9 of the 20. So did 9 of the 20, is that more than half? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 9 of 20. So that's false. That's not true, because it's 9 out of 20. The next one says that B had more than 2/3 are 4 or more hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 20. 13 out of 20 does not reduce, but I know that 2/3 comes out to 66. So if I were to multiply 20 times 5, I'll get 100%. So it's like a proportion. And the 13 times 5 is going to give me 80. So that part is true, but the first part is false. So not more than half were at 4 or more for A. So that means that D is false as well. So that means our only answer left is B, right? So B says that homeroom A has a center of 3 and B has a center of 4. That's true. And that I can get from the median. So 3 and 4. Perfect. So that means that our answer is B. Yay, B. Cool. If you have any questions, let me know. And, of course, we have our handy dandy quote of the day, which says, relationships are a lot like algebra. Have you ever looked at your ex and wondered why? It's a little joke for today. And, of course, as y'all know, I have a boxer because I love boxers. They're my babies. Okay? So there you go, guys. So if you have any questions, let me know. Your exit ticket is to complete questions 1 through 3. Send me proof. If you need help, let me know. Make the corrections if I tell you to. And have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. I love you and I miss you. And this is Mr. Morales signing out. Bye, guys.